Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Dysos. We actually have a guest. It's an actual human being. It's Dave. And it's fantastic for him to be here. He's another gamer like myself. He plays some games here and there. And he's a member of the Canberra Street Pass group. And you're going to be moving in a couple months.
Yes, that's right. I'm moving to Melbourne in about 2 months. I'm moving down there for work purposes, but I'm going to be very sad to leave the Canberra 3DS group behind. I mean, it's a group that's done more than any other to give me a social life here in this city.
Yeah, it's going to be sad to sort of see you go there because like quite a few people going to Melbourne now. There was Rob at first, and now you and Misty, and just sort of feels like everyone's moving down south, which is a bit sad in that. So you're going to be looking to find the Melbourne group at this point?
Definitely, yeah. Well, obviously, I know Rob, who's down there. My best friend who lives down there is also part of that group. I know a few other people in Melbourne who are geeky, gamey type people. So, I'm looking forward to hanging out with them quite a bit more.
Well, that's great to hear. And so we'll just sort of get to current stuff, I guess. What sort of games have you been playing? You have a Wii U and a 3DS, I guess, yeah.
I also have a Nintendo 64.
64?
I also have a Nintendo 64, yes.
Oh, that's good. Good. Yeah, because I've got quite a few consoles here, you can tell.
Yes, I
Yeah, which is crazy. So you're into retro games, I heard about.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, I've been a gamer, I guess, since I was a kid, since I was about 6, and in some ways I haven't really changed much from that. I mean, I still love a lot of the Mario games of the NES, Super Nintendo era. Also with the Nintendo 64, of course, Super Mario 64. And actually, at the moment, I'm playing Ultimate NES Remix.
And what is it that you like about the games? Is it the nostalgia? Is it the childhood that you is it because these games you grew up on?
It's actually a combination of things. A lot of it is, I think, childhood nostalgia. Reliving your childhood and all that. But a lot of times, I actually prefer the retro games to more modern games because I personally find the graphics easier to handle. I find the gameplay as well is simpler and more elegant, and the sounds are just so catchy.
Yeah, that's quite true. I'm guessing that you've seen Shovel Knight, the not Shovel Knight and those sort of games. What do you think of those sort of new retro games that are coming out?
I enjoy a lot of those games. I think I had a chance to play Shovel Knight a little bit at PAX in Melbourne last year, and I like a lot of those games because, again, you do have the simple graphics and simple, elegant gameplay, and, those are the games that I can just play for hours on end. So I derive endless enjoyment from them.
Well, that's great. I think I've been into some sort of the retro games, like the NES remix game, which is quite different, sort of them cutting and pasting sort of levels from different games and that. So I'm guessing with the way that Nintendo has the Wii U and the 3DS out, there's likely going to be a new console out, probably your home console. What are your thoughts about? Would you be a day one buyer or wait and think or sort of?
Well, to be honest, I'm a little surprised that Nintendo still is going for the home console since don't really, particularly in the West, since let's face it, since for the last 20 odd years they haven't been selling quite as well as PlayStation and Xbox as well. But that said, I do still like that they're doing it. I mean, I find that Nintendo consoles are the best made. Do also have, I think, very nice graphics. But as to whether I will actually buy one or not, I may buy one at some point, especially if there are some attractive new features on it. But I don't think I would buy one on day one, to be honest. I'd wait and see how it goes.
All right, and so with the home console, looking at the 3DS and that, being part of the Street Pass group and that, how much have you sort of enjoyed having the 3DS and that sort of thing? And what do you think about the 3DS in general?
It has actually gotten me back into gaming a little bit more than I had been. Certainly, I can also thank my wife Misty for that as well. I like to I like to play the games, if nothing else, so I can know what she's talking about most of the time. But look, in terms of the 3DS, I think it's a great handheld console. I like the fact that you can actually turn off the 3D on it, because sometimes I find the 3D a bit much for me. But you know, it does. But I think as a console, it does capture a lot of the magic, I think, about gameplay and the sort of games that I like to play. You know, I've actually gotten through some of the more modern ones as well on it. Well, at least the ones like Super Mario 3D Land, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Super Mario 3D
one.
Land,
Yeah.
and of course Mario Kart 7 as well. I do have a bit of a thing for Mario Kart games, as you can probably tell. But yeah, no, it's a lot of those sort of games as well, and the Virtual Console on it, of course, is excellent.
Well, that's great. Sort of the 3DS, and they've had a lot of Virtual Console games on the 3DS. What are your sort of favourite Virtual Console games that they've re-released for the 3DS that you sort of play on it or go back to?
I often find myself going back to Super Mario Land 3, which I think is still one of the greatest games ever released. You know, it's been really great to just play that one again, and you know, it just goes to show that the retro games, they do come across as simpler, but you know, they're actually quite intricate, complicated things. But the challenge of that is a good one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's true with those sort of games and that. And what would be our last question before we do it? Who knows, eh? And what is your favourite? Seeing that you like your retro games, what's your favourite 8-bit game?
My favourite 8-bit game. Well, I mean, apart from Super Mario Land 3, of course, you know, I just can't go past the original Donkey Kong.
Oh, yes. That would be right, wouldn't it?
It's great. It's great fun when you can just pick up a hammer and whack barrels. I find it relieves stress.
Yeah. Rack and barrels. I think we're going to leave it on that point.
Yeah, I know. It can get quite dark quite quickly with me, so best leave it there.
We'll leave it right there. So that's it from Nintendo Ninja News, as we talk to a few people about the games that they like and enjoy. And I think that's it from me and from Dave. And we'll see you later on. Yeah.